The stories we make today would not exist without the wondrous tales of the dreamtime of First Nations people that inspired us as children. We acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional owners and storytellers of the land we record on today, and would like to pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging.
Hello all you baddies, benders and babes, and welcome to the Book of War, an Avatar Legends real play, the story of 4 runaways seeking the Book of War in a world without the Avatar. My name is Jesse Thomas and I play FANG, the Foundling, him, a repressed runaway lava bender from the Earth Kingdom who found a new home for themselves in the Northern Water Tribe while hiding from deadly family secrets. My Min fact for today is that Min is quite good at watercolor painting, like ink painting. Very traditional, like Chinese and Japanese ink paintings when he's got his little red Min Fang stamp.
Did he see himself as a troubled artist? You know,
I think he tried to. Yeah.
sit at the window.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's like
kind of
putting on the torture. Like,
Yeah. That's probably what he did in his, other than reading, that's probably what he did in his free time, I think.
your dad would be like, "Do you want dessert?" And he's just like, "I can't."
I must paint my 15th waterfall today.
Poor repressed little nerd.
Yeah.
Speaking of poor repressed, oh my god, what is wrong with me? Hi, my name is Lucas. I play Tomo the Razor, him, a combustion bender who likes to keep entrees and secrets close to his chest and is trying to redefine his place in the world. Tomo fact, he did not know where babies came from. He was told that people were made from from lion turtles.
Right.
And we were all spirits and they were all had a place and his place was to be a destroyer. So from the very beginning, he just had this idea that, okay, this is who I am. Until, of course, slowly but surely, he realized there was more to him than that.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, that really does.
That
Especially
explains a
like
lot.
a spiritual connection there. It's always kind of, popped up. Hello, my name is Georgie Hazel and I play Nuro, the Destined, they, she, he, a runaway from the strange and mystical foggy swamp. Once a lone wanderer of the swamp and now part of a pack, Nuro finds themselves navigating a world more complex than they ever thought possible. But the further away they get from the swamp, the larger the shadow grows.
We all wolf backpack.
Yeah. A woo! Give me a woo.
Oh.
Thank you, Wolfpack.
Wolf backpack.
Oh, I should have said like
Wolf
Wolfpack.
Backpack.
I'm going to say that next time.
Great.
My fact, I didn't have much time to think of a neuro fact this week. I lived the true Australian experience and I got sent to hospital from a spider bite.
Just beat you up.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing here?
I mean,
They're not that big.
I managed to dodge the first 2 blows, but it had extra arms.
Yeah, not
Too
the
many
next
arms.
six.
Don't bring
Many
2
fists.
arms to a spider punch fight.
Anyway, not fun. Don't recommend it.
But you're okay, right?
Yeah.
Has developed spider-like fangs, but
Yeah, I'm Spider-Man now. That's my fact.
Hello, everybody. My name's Ted Darling, and I play Banji, the Guardian, him, a runaway from the Fire Nation army who has instead chosen to use his strength to protect the vulnerable. My Banji fact for today is that the cool backflip that I did in the last episode, Banji saw one of his superiors do that and then was like, I got to steal that move. And so spent like days and days and days just trying and practicing this backflip until he nailed it and then did it in front of everyone and just played it off like, yeah, man, I just know how to do that.
nice. That's cool.
So you narrated it but pretended to be Sasuke.
Yeah,
That's what you
exactly.
did.
I love to imagine us watching you practice that as well. Like, what are you doing, Banji?
Just it's natural, you know?
Hello, my name is Ash. I am the Grandmaster of the White Lotus for this game. My fun fact is that I was having a chat with some of the cast members about just sort of this whole process that we're going through with these episodes at the moment. We've decided it's like a massage. The pressure is intense and it's a little bit sore now, but man, it's going to feel so much better when it's all done.
Also, we are aware of the Netflix series. We will eventually talk about it. There is an embargo for your sake at this point.
I mean, the reality is that once this episode comes out, the embargo might be over. But regardless, we'll get to the commentary on that, especially after I've actually seen all of it rather than just the bits I have. With that, roll the music. Last episode, we found a little bit of a timeline distortion between the bad roll boys being caught in a maze where they were being hunted by a very, very, very deadly 10-year-old, a Ted-year-old, if you will.
Tedley.
A Tedley man. In the meantime, the rest of the party managed to rescue a few of the children while simultaneously working their way back around into the laboratory from a different direction. Fights ensued on all fronts, some better, some worse.
Sorry, that's some very worse.
Some very worse. And the final showdown between Team Nuro, there we go.
Toro?
Toro. Numo.
All right.
Between you two. Yes, the showdown between you two, Koresh and Sapphire, ended with the two of you leaping through the window down into the maze, while Dr. Koresh took out a notepad-style journal, which you realised is, in fact, the book that you were referring to. We're picking up right on the action. Tomo, you're sliding down the wall. I think I described it that you sort of put a hand out just so you can Prince of Persia your way down rather than just plunder straight to your death.
Yep.
And as you sort of near the ground, you see Iroh looking sorry for himself while holding onto Banji, who is completely knocked out.
Do I see anything else? Like, do I see this Tedley young boy?
No. So you will see a big pile of lava in the middle of the maze. It is glowing. You notice that the rocks that are breaking apart from the ceiling, the blasting jelly doesn't look like it's all gone off at once. It looks like it's going off in waves. So you've got a very, very small amount of time to get to the middle of the maze to get the people out that are currently there, which at this point is Minfang. We also know the child is somewhere there.
Well, I make my way as fast as I can.
I think as you begin to move, Iroh sort of looks up and is like, I think I broke my wrist. That was not a pleasant fall.
I think Nuro, especially seeing Banji down and out, definitely rushes over. And is he like trying to carry Banji right now, or are they just
I think
pile kind of?
Yeah, I think Banji's on top of him, and he just hasn't quite, with his one arm, hasn't quite managed to move Banji off him just yet.
Okay, I would like to try. I'm helping Iroh. I can see Tomo rushing ahead. I feel like I want to check Banji for any major wounds, check vitals, check, put my hand to his neck and search for the pulse and see how bad it is.
Pulse is there, breathing is there.
Yeah.
It is ragged.
Yeah.
Like, Banji's been put through the ringer. There's no doubt about it. But for the most part, he is safe.
Okay, all right.
Just while you're continuing that, Lucas, could I please have a assess the situation from you, please?
11.
I hate this game.
What's the best way in, out, and through? You start making your way into places. You realize that you could probably get to the middle of the space if you exploded a few walls.
But I also know that that's quite taxing on me. Am I still taking 3 fatigues every time I pop? Or
in this case, I think that you're not showing off your full strength. So I think that you're making like a Tomo-sized hole. So I would say no. It will take some fatigue to do it, but it won't be. Look at it this way. How's this for a deal? 3 fatigue, and you can get to the middle of the maze.
That'll leave me with just 1. There's lava bursting out. Banji's down. Iroh's looking bad. And I don't know when. So Minfang is in the middle. He's
Yeah, pretty much dead middle is how I view it.
Yeah. I think Min's conscious, but you can see he's freaking out. He can't seem to control the lava at all. And I think he's like doing movements that he think might work and nothing's happening. Because he's just spent. Like, he can't focus his energies. He can't figure out what he's meant to do. And we know that lava just keeps propagating.
There's probably a little bit of that red thumping in your head as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that hit from that blast as well. It's just he just can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's looking pretty stressed and he's moving around. He doesn't know what to do.
I'll let you think about that. We'll head back to Nuro. So you know that Banji's okay. I think Iroh's beginning to get up and he's very gingerly holding his right hand to him, just to his chest, and being like giving that support.
I really think they're lost. I think like in this moment they look up at Iroh and how are we going to get out of here, Iroh? Banji's out. There's lava everywhere. I don't know if Min's okay. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Iroh looks down at you and he smiles. And you can tell that he's in pain, but he's hiding it pretty well.
When everything is currently against you, the only thing you can do is work as a team.
And he looks up at what looks to be one of those. You can actually see them now, the blasting jelly satchels. Now that you've seen a few of them go off, you realise that they are all over the roof. And you see him with one hand move, and it almost looks like a waterbending form. He begins to move that one hand around in a circle, and then he points up at one that's directly above the three of you. And this bolt of lightning juts out of it. And you see it explode the satchel open. Rather than using flame, it doesn't explode. It just sort of, I guess you'd say somewhere between shatters and spills. And so you realise that particular rock face isn't going to come down. This little area is at least some degree of safer than it was.
Some degree of safe. Okay, I feel like they so torn. Don't want to leave Banji, but they want to go help Tomo. So I think that she just kind of looks down at Banji, pats his face, like strokes it a few times, and just says, "Don't leave his side, okay?"
I wouldn't dream of it.
And he begins to start taking off some of those robes, like the old man robes that he had off, and he's creating almost like a sling as best he can, one-handed, around Banji so they can drag or pull or lift or whatever needs to happen.
Okay. I think very unsurely they back up and run after Tomo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Banji, what are you dreaming about?
Back home with the family. In his room, he can hear his parents playing cards in the lounge room of his house.
That's far too wholesome. That's I don't know how I feel about this wholesome fire. The model firebending family.
That's where he's gone. He's gone home.
You hear a knock at the door. Banji lad, hey, you're in there.
Oh, Grandad, I'm good. I'm just in my room.
Why are you stuck in your room instead of coming down and playing with your family?
Oh, I just had a weird dream. I've just felt like I needed some time alone. I just felt a bit off.
I think very gingerly the door opens and your granddad pokes his head around the corner. And it is somewhere between a reassuring smile and just a little bit of concern for your well-being. Because there's near danger.
No danger. Nothing that I can't handle, at least.
That's my boy. You rest up, lad. We'll take care of him next time.
Aye, we will.
And he leaves the room. And as you look around the room, there are a couple of things that just don't feel right. It's not quite how you remember it. It's how you remembered it forever ago, but not at this age that you currently are. It's not right. And then you look and you think about it, and even your granddad, just the facial hair was wrong. It just didn't feel quite as real as it should have.
Banji, because he was sitting on his bed and he kind of gets up and starts walking around the room and picking up knickknacks, and there's like a weird kind of smell in the air, like a burning smell, but not the burning smell that he's used to being from the Fire Nation. It's almost like a chemical burning smell rather than like a wood burning smell. And just has like a think to himself and goes and stands at the bedroom window and looks out into the ocean.
I feel that we've spoken about this before at least once. There's a volcano on your island, isn't there?
Yeah.
I think that you get the sense. I would say it's either one of those permanently bubbling away ones that there always is a little bit of lava about, or it's something that does go off every now and again.
Yeah.
It's not like it's ever been dormant, and you get that smell, that brimstone smell. You're looking out the window. The volcano isn't super active. You shouldn't be smelling this smell, and your brow furrows. Tomo, how did you go with your dashing to heroism?
Yep. Tomo steps back and focuses on doing short, sharp breaths to minimize the damage. So I just want to burst just enough for me to get through.
Okay.
And hopefully not to draw any more attention than it probably will. I mean, that's probably impossible because I'm bursting through stone walls. But
Look, there is lava, there is ceiling collapsing, lightning just shot into the sky in an underground cavern.
and an unknown enemy somewhere around and all that. So I think Tomo's has been really torn between getting to Minfang as fast as he can, but also wary that there's someone else out here who can also do what he does. So,
Yeah, that's, I think, entirely fair.
Yeah, but, 2 walls, 3 walls, and 3 fatigues, right?
That was really good Foley work there. I really like that.
Thank God I don't need to make another combustion.
You get to a space where you can realistically see Minfang. He is surrounded by a circle of lava, almost a moat of his own creation. And he looks very out of it.
Minfang, hold on, I'm coming. And is there a way for me to get to him, like next to him?
No, but you rolled a complete success on your assess the situation. So is there another question you could ask? Because I just made you take what's the best way in, out, and through. And the answer was through.
I think what should I be on the lookout for?
I think that as you're surveying the scene, as you're trying to figure out exactly how you could possibly get to Minfang, who, did you hear, like, in the same way the last episode you were not overly responsive to Iroh, did you hear Tomo just then?
Yeah, but I don't think he could discern it between the young combustion bender and Tomo.
Yeah, okay.
We know that they sound different, but I don't think Min is in a space to realize that.
Yep.
So I think he's just like, he can't move anywhere and he just thinks his doom is coming through some walls.
Like that shell shock kind of like...
Yeah. And then like that last wall comes down and it's Tomo, and I think there's like just a sigh of relief. It's like, oh, Tomo!
Stay where you are.
Okay, I can't really go anywhere.
You look around and there is no perceivable way to pass this lava. Like, there's no convenient ladders sitting around. There's no easy way to deal with this problem directly ahead of you. But while you're scanning and looking, and I think that this is about the time that Nuro runs up and sort of lands just behind you or to your side or wherever Nuro wants to be, I think that you see a hand, a very small hand, sticking out from underneath some rubble, just around to the side of this circle of lava.
So I can just run straight to that hand?
Absolutely.
Okay, I think I gesture, and Minfang's not in immediate danger. You're just sort of trapped in this island of...
Well, the immediate danger is the ceiling is still collapsing, but yes, it's not like the lava is like flowing back in on Minfang or anything like that. So.
With the bits of wall that I broke down to get here, are there large enough chunks of rocks that I can chuck into the lava stream, making some sort of like skipping?
We can roll push your luck. The disregard with those two.
And I've been punished for it.
Very good. It was
5.
a 5?
Yes.
I think what you do is you do see a chunk of this concrete slab and you heave it, and as you do, it just splatters lava pretty much closer to Minfang. You get a little bit on yourself, mark a condition, but it does create some degree of pathway. It looks very, very, very unstable.
Yep. I am going to mark guilty because everybody's here basically because of me, and I've just might have botched that attempt to try to rescue Minfang.
Nuro, what's your feels in this situation?
All right, I think watching Tomo kind of just, splatter some lava, not really get anywhere, time ticking, I think, they very gingerly with their finger movements bring out their water. It's literally the only thing that they have. So it feels like such a risk. But they look at Min, and I think we're just looking at each other like, what do we do? And I show the water, and I could try.
Min just like puts his arms out and does the forward and back, the pull in and out motion of the tides that they first Min showed them that one time, like just out and in.
Yeah.
Just sort of does it with you, like this Tai Chi push and pull.
I feel like the success of the last time that Nuro attempted and won with waterbending, I feel like that's probably helped with some confidence. So
Yeah, I'm going to give you a +1 to this. And so it's push your luck.
Okay, all right. And that doesn't add anything, does it?
It's passion.
Passion. Okay, all right. All right, yep. I catch on, I start making the motion.
Georgie pumping themselves up here.
All right. That's a 9? That's a 9. That's a 9.
I'm relatively certain Minfang has no fatigue with which to help.
No, I have all conditions marked, all fatigue marks.
Tomo, do you want to make that a complete success?
I've got my 2 mentors here. Breathe in, breathe out, push and pull. That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that, I think Tomo steps next to Nuro and just, breathes in sync. And like eyes looking at you, like steadying, you can do this kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's so much concentration on their face right now.
Here's what happens. The water begins to move out, and it is like doing it when you were doing it with the waves. But this time it's just doing it in the middle of the air. It's not sitting on the lava, it's sitting above. And you begin to get confidence as you're breathing and as you're feeling the motion of this water. With all the training you've been doing with yourself to feel this water and feel its subtle motions, you realize you're getting further and further across that lava. Minfang on the other side is also mirroring those motions. He's feeling that water tribe vibe, and he begins to move his arms backwards and forwards, and then his whole body. And then at the very last second, he leaps into that water, and almost like bodyboarding, he surfs that wave over the lava and lands on the ground.
Oh, good job, kid. That was,
I think Nuro just squeezes you. Out of nowhere.
No, it's fine. We have to leave.
Another jolt of lightning goes off as there's more
It's
possibly
Iroh.
happening.
It's Iroh.
Oh, what? That doesn't make any explosions and lightning inside.
Tomo,
Where's Banji?
Minfang and being safe now, Tomo is going to go over to that little hand.
Yeah.
I think I see him go over there. I'm like, stop. He's the one. He was attacking us.
And now he's down.
He cannot be reasoned with. He cannot be helped.
He's like me.
I think Min just sort of doesn't really know what to say because he doesn't agree. I don't think he is like him. But he sort of looks at Tomo and sees a resolve and is like, fine. And sort of groggily runs over to help.
Nuro, what does Nuro do in this situation?
Well, Nuro, I guess, was watching this. I can't imagine that this tiny hand is the thing that's creating this carnage. But then they also recognize that they have tiny hands and they create carnage. So I think it's kind of like, again, just torn between trusting Min's experience and the fact that Tomo wants to help someone that is like him that didn't really have probably a choice in being here. And so I think they just get ready. I think especially while Min is probably like, you're not looking good, hey, like
he's barely conscious, yeah.
So I think like just almost instinctually I square up, like if not beside you, in front of you almost.
Tomo, you move this rock, which shifts a little bit of rubble either side. Nuro, for the first time, you see the face of this kid, And Minh Fang, it doesn't look any different to you because the expression was blank every time you saw it already. But this kid looks almost at peace, just lying there. You see that his right arm and his right leg are mangled pretty badly. He is not conscious.
Tomo is going to attempt to pick him up.
Yeah? He weighs nothing.
Yeah, Tomo will cradle him. Anything that needs to be wound or like patched up or like is there blood or like?
I view it more as burns.
Just burns?
Burns and probably a little bit of rock fall and not to create too graphic a picture. But
Yeah. I think Tomo will probably try to tear off a bit of excess fabric, maybe
I think
on his waist.
Min sees you like going to like triage this kid and be like, just walks up, be like, Tomo, the ceiling is falling. We do not have time. We have to go.
I think to punctuate that, a massive boulder lands and it splashes where Minh Fang was standing and the ceiling is coming down.
If you want to grab him, fine, but we need to leave now.
Go ahead. We'll be right behind you.
Come on, just pick him up and let's go. We can sort him out later.
Tomo, we're not leaving without you.
And I'm not leaving without him.
Then go.
Okay, so Tomo grabs him up, lifts him up, and effortlessly just go on. I'm right behind you.
Min's gonna like run to where he saw the lightning shoot up.
Yep.
And
There's a nice Tomo-shaped hole leading on the way.
Yeah.
I just jumped through the what's that?
Like the cutout, like
The cutout game where you got to jump through the foam things. Yeah. No, I get to Iroh and I look to the left where Iroh and I saw the egg, like some sort of like side exit.
Yes. Basically, Iroh landed next to it.
Sure. Okay.
He has Banji trussed up on his back, and he's managed to tie his own hand into that sling. So he gives a big solid thumbs up in that classic Iroh fashion.
I think I'll grab the end of it that's on the back end of Banji and like carry half the weight because Min's kind of like, oh, this was my fault sort of energy here. So he's like, I should have not gone into Sapphire.
You all begin to hustle out the door. And as you do, everyone will see that there is a basket, a box, some sort of container that has anything that was taken off you and Banji.
Stop! Yeah, I think Min stops. He's like, oh, my stuff, our stuff, and he grabs the bangle, Banji's sword, and both of our bags.
I like that you probably dropped Banji to grab it all.
Sorry, bro. I throw the bags on him and then pick him up.
I think Iroh sort of says,
We need to get somewhere safe where we can recover.
Those kids.
Wait, kids?
We'll tell you on the way. We gotta go. We gotta go.
So if you remember when I described Tomo and Nuro finding the front entrance, there was an exit way that led, so there was a bottom level, a middle level, and a top level.
Yeah.
You've come out the bottom level and run straight out the door. You begin running down through these alleyways. It is coming into nighttime. And Nuro, I think you know it just as an innate waterbender, and Iroh gets the sense of it as well, just being world-traveled. And both of you almost simultaneously think, the tide's come in. We can't go to the dragon right now.
I think Tomo would know if there were any safe houses that he would have used while working for Lady Dao.
I mean, we could just go stay at a hotel. You've got a lot of money.
Hotel?
I think Iroh says,
What about those pier people? Would they be able to shelter us for a little while?
Tito, I mean, they're pretty top for space down there, but surely. I'll catch him some fish. I don't know.
I think Iroh sort of looks back at Banji, looks over at Minh Fang, who is barely standing, and looks at this small child that Tomo is cradling. It's like, we need a safe space, and we need it now.
Yeah, I was going to say Nuro probably knows the way. The track was pretty fresh with Banji. So I think they would just aim to find a familiar spot for them to then find their way to the docks. I imagine it very kind of stressful. Like, We don't have people following us. Is that like, is it?
Yeah, like I was going to
Yeah.
say, can I roll to assess if we're being followed?
You don't need to. You know that you're not. There's enough chaos. There's enough sound coming from there that anyone that's sort of in the area is trying to figure out what's going on. So they're all looking back where the sound is coming from. You definitely don't see any of the unsavories that you were looking at before.
Okay. They're kind of mirroring Banji, you know, like the sign there. What were you saying, like to find the secret like path down? It's like there's like a particular post there.
Yeah.
And I think they're just like pointing out as they're going.
I like that it's exactly the same way that Banji says it too.
Yeah,
It's like,
I imagine it.
that's the fancy sign.
Yeah.
that's the loose cobblestone. That's the exact wording.
Yeah, exactly.
You come into the camp underneath the pier, and I think that no sooner have you entered the space that people around you make a noise of shock and alarm and begin to help. Like the moment that they see that Banji's being carried, they're unslinging him and trying to take him somewhere out the back. Min, you're feeling very drowsy.
I think I just collapse in the sand, and lie on his back and say, "Oh, I hate sand."
And people start bringing you water and varying things. The child also gets rushed off.
I would stick with the child, though. I'm not going to let him leave my side.
The second people get close enough to Tito and you hear someone start sort of yelling at him and to him, and he immediately goes into action. He says, "Make sure we got the best benders at the front just in case anyone's chasing. Put him in the palace." And the palace is just some rags hanging up. It's like, it almost looks like a triage tent if the triage tent had been sitting there for 30 years. It is not a clean thing. And the two most injured ones get rushed in there pretty much straight away. Almost immediately. Who goes into the triage tent? I know that Tomo, you're going in. Nuro's...
I think I want to go in.
Iroh goes in as well, and he is holding his hand up to his chest in that same sling motion. Tito grabs a bucket of water, and as far as you can tell, Nuro, there is absolutely nothing special about this water. And you see him lift some of the water out of the bucket, and he goes to the child first and places his hands over and creates almost like a line across that right side of the kid's body, and it begins to glow. It feels warm. It feels like life. And he is focused for a little while. That's about all we can do for that one for the moment. Who else is... You see him move over to Banji. And Banji, if you could feel things, I think even in the dream, you begin to feel your forehead goes cold. Everyone sees that that's where the water is sort of just placed just over the top of the head. And in one swift motion, he drags the water all the way down through the body and back up again. And you feel like you've just been splashed in the face. And you wake up.
Breathe, Banji, breathe.
Spirits. Oh,
You're okay.
where am I? What's happening? What?
Deep breath, Banji.
You okay?
We're out.
Oh, is that Banji?
Tito, where'd you learn how to do that?
Well, I haven't lived on Shinsen Big Island for all of my days. I came from the Northern Water Tribe. I didn't really believe in their practice. They don't normally teach this to fellas, but I didn't. I snuck in and learned anyway. I found I was good at it.
That's amazing.
Tomo has some treasure on him, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Can I produce 2 small pieces of treasure?
Of course.
Yeah, and I'm gonna show this to Tito. Thank you for your help. Do you know how to spend this discreetly? Not all at once, obviously, you don't want to draw attention, but can you send someone you trust to get us as much food as you can?
I've got some people I can trust. That's yeah. I could do that.
And please, and of course, the rest is for you and your people.
Yeah, no, we I think that maybe everyone, well, all of your people should come in and tell us what's going on. I mean, I sent you to find Sapphire. Here you are all beaten half to death. That's not a great time. I would like to know a bit more about that.
Even if it puts you in danger?
He smiles, and you see it's a little bit gap-toothed, and he goes, we've always been in danger. That's nothing new.
Tomo nods.
And he then moves on to Iroh and starts working on this wrist of his. He goes, this is going to take a little while to heal. This one's complicated. It will get better.
I think Banji's just kind of like lying there prone. Still,
and is
probably.
very like blinking and looking around, like still quite dazed.
I think after talking with you a bit, maybe giving you a little kiss on the forehead, they're pretty transfixed on this healing. I think they're following Tito around to watch as closely as they can, not knowing anything about what's happening. Like, they've never felt this before, so yeah.
Let's why don't we do a roll for it?
Okay.
Let's see how good of a little prodigy you are at learning a new waterbending form.
Got that waterbending confidence. Just putting that out there. It's probably a
True.
it's probably a +1. It was before. Just putting that out there.
When it comes to training moves, are you currently in center or free from conditions?
I am both.
Ooh. Do you and your teacher share at least one background? I think no.
No, I don't think so.
Does your teacher agree with the reasons for you doing the learning? 100%. And is the technique easy to grasp on your current training experience or skills?
That's a strange one because I feel like there is a spiritual component to this that might.
You are a life bender.
Yeah.
So you get a +2.
Okay.
Roll your 2d6 and let's see how good you are at this.
That is a 6, so not very good at all. Makes sense.
On a 6, you go to give it a go. And as you do, your water just splashes everywhere. You realize that the control work you've been doing, you still need to do more of it.
Yeah.
When it comes to moving this water, you don't, you can't just look at it and use it. You have to feel it because you're no longer just doing it for you and this water. You're doing it for you, this water, and whoever you're trying to heal.
I think, yeah, there's definitely a bit of a disconnect, but I think the cogs start moving in Nuro's mind. They think about how they, especially in the swamp, how easily they can manipulate the vines, and that is more so about feeling the water inside something rather than picturing it and trying to move it. So I feel like, yeah, there's a bit of like a ding, and they take that advice on board, I think. Feel the water.
I think the next time you try this, you've got to be aware that it's going to use some of you to do it. And your learning condition to learn this move is whatever conditions you are healing off a person, you are gaining.
Okay.
Minfang.
Yeah. Sitting in the sand. Bit mopey. Barely awake. People keep bothering him, I think. He's just like lying there or sitting there and they're like, do you need water? Do you need food? I'm like, yeah.
For those that couldn't see, he just very lazily gave the little hand gesture like, yeah, give it to me.
Pretty much all he's saying is thank you. And he's just sort of sitting there like tired and exhausted. But he can't really take his mind off the kid when Tomo pulled him out and he saw how badly he injured him. And like probably burnt away his hand and his leg, and they probably will struggle with that for the rest of their life. I think he's just coming to terms with that's what he did. And then I think he thinks back further and then it's like, but you probably erased a whole other life maybe at Misty's Palms. I think that's just what he's coming to grips with, and he's sort of just...
You're beginning to realize how destructive lava is.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like... I definitely don't think he's sort of like going, oh, I shouldn't do this, I hate this power. It's just like, I think he's just realizing that when he couldn't move it anymore, he was also very stressed. He's like, oh, I can't control this. Like, it isn't something that can be controlled once it's there, almost, or I haven't got that yet. So maybe he's just like, maybe I just need to be more deliberate and less desperation bending, if that makes sense. So yeah, he's just sort of sitting there dealing with that.
Eventually, someone comes to grab you, and they say, you know, they want to see you in the...
Huh? Yeah.
What do we call it? The palace?
For the palace.
Sorry, can you give me a hand up? I'm really...
Yeah, they help. There are, the second that someone is trying to help you, there are 3 people trying to help you.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, folks. You're all right. Make sure you take some money off my big friend. He's got all that money.
I think that
Yeah, he's so tired.
one of them says to you, "That's okay. We're being looked after at the moment. We've had some supplies delivered."
Cool.
As they're being dragged in, and you see that there are some people handing out food in this crowd. You don't focus on them. You just walk straight to this palace, and in you come.
He walks in. Not much of a palace. Banji, you're awake.
Oh, I'm in FANG, you're okay.
Yeah, I got your sword. Don't worry.
Oh, that's the least of my troubles.
What?
I'm just glad you're all right. As soon as you... I'm really glad to see you, buddy.
It's fine, man. Don't even stress. We win. We didn't win. We actually lost. But
Yeah.
we're all here like I said we would be. Didn't I? I said we would all be fine.
And then some. And Tomo gestures down to the boy. We did a good thing here.
Tomo, that kid cannot... He is lethal. Okay? I don't know, first of all, I didn't know that that's what you did. I saw it in the dream or whatever thing that Nuro did for us, but this was I felt it and I went flying and that was raw explosion. I don't even know what that is, but that kid does it worse than you.
I'm sure he
He
does.
cannot be here when he wakes up.
But
I agree. With your permission, I want to take him, and him and I will go to a quiet beach, and I will wait there till he wakes up. So he'll have no idea that where the rest of us are.
I think that maybe it would be better if you didn't. I feel that this could get very personal very quickly, and I propose that I take the boy.
Okay, to what end?
Well, you have a much more important mission that you need to figure out what your next step is. I am still on my vacation. I'm certain I can find a home for him.
Min is sort of I don't know. Can we discuss this without you, Hiro, for a moment?
I think he sort of looks at the logo. He's like, "Have I not proven to you that I am?"
Fine. I don't think that we should be giving someone that can manifest explosions with their mind to the Crown Prince of the Fire Nation. Regardless of your disposition, and I sort of look around and realize it's just us. No, I'm
Tito's still there.
sorry, Tito, pretend you didn't hear that.
I often do.
Your Majesty, I just don't, I can't trust that you'll do the right thing. I'm sorry.
Hiro, I don't doubt you, but I want this boy to have a choice. Like I had a choice. That is all I ask. Perhaps why don't both of us go? And when he wakes up, he can choose what path he wants to walk.
Then what are you going to do about the book?
We're still gonna come after the book. I'm sure he won't be that long. And we need to rest up. We all need to rest up anyway, right?
Yeah.
I think Tito chimes in and he says, "Well, if you've gone up against Sapphire and it's not gone so well, then you're probably going to find that they'll be leaving the island very quickly."
All right, we're under the docks. If they're going to be leaving, we're going to know about it. So
No, maybe not. It's a big island. It's in the name.
I can't argue with that. Actually,
I mean, Sapphire's always been able to come and go as she pleases, so...
that lady doesn't scare me.
all right. Well, then let's take a short rest now for a couple of hours, and then let's go find her. But
I mean, I don't think you will, but I do know people that will know where you could find her.
I don't think we're in any shape to fight her, though. Even if we do find her, we need to recover our strength.
we need the book. I mean, I'm loath to say it, Tomo, but I mean, you can see us. We're not in any state to throw down again. I think we just need to get the book and go.
Like Tomo in his heart feels like this boy needs to be given a chance to make a choice and not just be told what to do. I think Tomo will try to press that notion onto Iroh.
I think that Iroh nods. I think that he says,
I understand what you are saying, and I think that it is important too. I believe that there is no one that needs care more than a child lost. Tomo, I think that you are still a child lost, and I do not think that you will be able to provide what this child needs. You all have a destiny much greater than one child. I do not.
Banji sits up on his bed, the stretcher, I guess, whatever he's laying on. I agree with Hiro. He should go with him.
All right, and look, maybe you can take the other kids as well. I think it's best that they get off Shimsum as soon as possible, and I don't know, just don't make them fight.
I would never dream of it.
Then at least they're safe behind the borders of the Fire Nation. No one's getting close there other than the Fire Nation. They never have, not in 70 years.
These children are potentially the most powerful benders in the world. Are we all really good with this?
That's only if anyone knows about them.
I think that in this process, while you're sitting there, I think that Tito is working on everyone. Everyone recover 1 fatigue, and anyone that has full conditions gets 1 back.
I'm going to remove troubled.
I'm going to remove angry because Banji's still afraid because the kid is right next to him and the kid messed him up real good.
Real good or real bad, depending on how you want to view it.
Hiro, I think that you want to help these kids, but just know that if anything happens to them, anything at all, you'll have more than Tomo knocking on your door.
He smiles.
I wouldn't dream of it any other way. Thank you for keeping me in check.
Tomo takes one last look at the boy, and then his friends, mangled up as we are, and Tomo just slowly nods and like just locks eyes with Iroh. The intent being that, yeah, anything happens, like we know you now. We know where you live.
You live in that big palace over there.
The absolute goal of 4 teenagers being like, we'll come get you, prince of the largest military complex on the planet. We'll get you.
Yeah, we got into Marshu. Anyway.
And all it took was pointy shoes. I think Iroh smiles and says,
I am certain our journey will coincide again. Best of luck.
You make sure Mia knows that we kept our promise, yeah?
and he holds up his pinky to Nuro and says, and then we see it like this. And he does the little motion that you did with young Mia, and he goes, it is sealed.
It's sealed. Okay, I trust him completely.
And food, Hiro. Lots of food. They need a lot more food than you'd expect.
And he pats himself on the belly and goes, me too. We're going to get along famously. And with a big smile on his face, anyone that's really dialed in can see that his shoulders look heavy with responsibility. But the look on his face says the complete opposite. And he picks up the young boy and cradles him in his arms and makes his way towards the cave, out from under the pier and off. And it is the four of you and Tito pretending he's not listening.
All right, Tito, person, old friend. I wanted to say old friend, but I don't actually know you.
Yeah, have we met?
No, don't worry about it.
I'm Tito.
I'm in FANG. Nice to meet you. He shakes his hand.
Shakes his hand back.
Love
just a
what
regular shake. He's like, must remember regular shake.
Love what you've done with the place. So, do you know anything about how Sapphire and this other woman will be leaving the island?
I haven't worked with Sapphire for a long time, but the people that just made our delivery of food will probably be able to help you.
Tomo, do you remember where that order came from?
No, when I say that, I mean you realize the people that were literally handing out the food as you walked into the tent.
Oh, right. All right, we'll speak to them. Thank you. Is there anything else we can do for you while we're still here?
I think he just sort of smiles and is just like, make sure to do good out there. And it's a big world. And a lot of people need help.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do need help. All right, we'll do that, I guess. He sort of like looks at everyone else.
Yeah.
Like,
Nuro
yeah.
gives a thumbs up. Like, yeah.
Oh, he throws Banji his sword. I'm spent, but if you're ready, I'm ready.
Looking at Banji, there's definitely like a distance to his eyes, and kind of the sword getting thrown at him and catching it sort of brings him back to the present moment. And he looks at Minh Fang and he says, I came here to kick ass and eat squidfish, and I'm all out of squidfish.
Because someone broke the toy.
Yeah. I think I looked at Nuro. You good to throw down?
I think you just see like the anime, like the Ghibli rise of the hair, you know, like that really like that intense look. Yeah, you see that, and just like a very intense nod.
All right, Tomo, this is still your this is still your game, man. We're here for you.
Let's find a boat, and maybe let's look at a way of disabling that boat to buy us more time,
Great.
if possible.
Well, I know of a way of disabling boats. They fail to say when they're on fire.
I think he makes a very good point. And I need some rope because it's become abundantly clear that I can't always earthbend. So, yeah. And my knife can be stolen sometimes. So he pulls off his knife from his bangle thing and puts it back on.
So Tito said that the people serving the food would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Tomo will go.
I think he just says, yeah, can just go like half of the people that are with the big sacks of food. That'll help.
So Tomo goes
Thanks
up.
for stopping by.
Thank you, Tito. Tomo goes up to the people serving the food.
You step outside and you scan the crowd for these people. So I picture that there's almost like, you know, whatever accounts for like oil drums, like mini fire bits and pieces. So it's dimly lit, but there's enough light to sort of get a sense when you start getting closer. And you hear as food is being handed out, there you go, now don't eat it all at once. And you hear another one say, yeah, this one's my favorite. You're really going to enjoy this.
Tomo steps back and pushes Minh Fang forward.
What's wrong? What's wrong, Tomo? Oh, hey, guys.
I think
He walks up.
Dexter looks at you and is like,
How you doing?
guys, can we not fight
No, it's
today,
it's
please?
great to see you. He pats him on his shoulder.
He goes to dodge. He's like, guys, we're trying to help people. Can
No,
you not?
we know it's fine. It's cool.
Are they trying to throw down again?
No, Boster, no. Oh, it's good to see you. Oh, man. I miss the days where I could just kick your guys' asses and be fine afterwards. Now every fight we get into feels like it's to the death. Anyway, how you doing?
I think they're all just like stare at you for a little bit, like, what has happened to you lot?
Anyway, we're after someone. Sapphire, mob boss.
Oh yeah, we don't deal with Sapphire anymore.
Good. That's a good for the status quo because I mean you'd hate to wonder what would happen if you were.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think Boster's like, are we throwing down here? We're trying to help people. Why do you
and
always
you can
trying to
help
start
us.
a fight with us?
You can help us more, okay? We're trying to get the people that have been stealing kids off this island.
They all sort of look a little bit sheepish and they're like, we didn't like that. Yeah, full disclosure, that's what we're after the kid for. And he points at Nuro.
Nuro's very taken aback.
Remember when we were doing that job for Lady Dow, Nuro was the bait.
The bait.
Because those kids were getting stolen. And that was you guys?
Well, we were told that Sapphire told us that the kids were off to go join the army or do some training or something. We didn't know it was bad.
You don't think that stealing kids is bad?
I mean,
Nuro, I look, Nuro, Tomo, I know that this is bad. I can see that you're both getting a bit worked up, but then we have bigger fish to fry.
I thought we're legit now, guys. Yeah, we like our shipping business is going really strong. That's why we've paid for the food to bring to these people.
Great. Good for you. I'm so glad that you've gone legit.
Yeah, and that you're not in the business of stealing children anymore.
Yeah. Look, anyway, please. We're on time constraints here. We need to find Sapphire's boat, whatever secret one that she may have that
Oh, yeah.
squirrel people off the island.
Secret Duck 63.
So you're telling me on Shimpsum there is not only a set of secret docks, but there is possibly up to and more of than 63 of them?
Yeah. I mean, if everyone used the same secret dock, it wouldn't be a secret.
63 secret docks on this island.
Actually, there's 87 that we know of, but there might be more.
Cool. Can you take us to that place, please?
They sort of look at each other and they're like,
Tomo, you can give them some treasure if you like.
And I won't make you crap your pants.
That too.
I think that Boster starts laughing. It's not a pleasant noise. Like, I'm going to give it a go. This might not work, but we'll see. It's like
Tomo steps forward and he produces a shiny thing.
yeah, let's do your standard, see what you put your hand in your pocket for and pull it out. I like this. We call this the treasure roll. Yeah, between 1 and a 6.
Ooh, a little bounce.
1.
It is the dullest stone. Like,
It's a bit of lint.
Like crumbles. Crimbles?
I think that Buster takes is like, oh, this one's a really good one, and
He has a
Bester
Buster
looks at it and goes, I think that's just a lolly. I think
A little Nuro hand pops up and takes it.
Can I try again?
no. I think what they do is they say, I can see you're strapped for cash. So how about we let bygones be bygones? We tried to steal the kid, it didn't work, and it's all fine now because we're all good friends.
Sure.
And we don't have to have a fight this time round. Yeah.
Yeah, fine. That works for me.
I want you to fight with us.
Oh no, we're not going up against Sapphire.
I kicked that lady's butt so hard.
Look at me.
How
Look at-
hard? How hard, Georgie?
Tomo's like,
Such a pattern of words you weave. Sorry, Lucas, go.
Sorry, Luke.
look at me. And like Tomo's like tall, imposing, menacing. I am afraid of this one. She can take on Sapphire. We just need you to just
Then you don't need us. Problem solved.
we need
Yeah, that sounds great.
Look, if you're not going to fight, that's fine. Please, we really don't have time.
Can I attempt more than Fate's plaything?
Sure.
Do we know any of their
Survival.
survival?
Survival is their jam.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's gonna be an argument of like, Sapphire is a criminal, but she holds many legitimate businesses here as fronts. We take her out, you can take over. You want to survive, you will thrive here.
We are legitimate business people now. And we only commit about a quarter of the violence that we used to. Because if you remember, their legitimate business is that they are now
Ferrying people, right?
ferrying people against other pirates. Like, so that.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're still getting into their fights and whatever, but
Yeah.
they're fighting for the powers of good and /
And
all
rich
money.
people.
Yeah, and rich people and money. Roll for it. What was that? All right, description for that one was he slapped his hands together like he was Mr. Miyagi about to heal Danielson. and then just sort of swiveled them together and dropped them on the table. Was that how we'd describe that? Oh, I don't like it. What was it?
A 6 and a 2, I think. Is that a 2?
Plus.
Yep.
Because it's calling someone out. You roll it an 8.
Mm-hmm.
You see them look on their face, and the idea is tantalizing. And I think you get the idea that if you were to give them a proper down payment, that would sway them. I think that you do your standard thing again, and you put your hand into your bag, and you pull out something, and this was a really nice treasure. You were looking at this one going, this is going to look so great when I eventually have a place I can put on the little, and you hand it over. So Mark 1 fatigue is the cost for...
I'm at full fatigue again.
You're at full fatigue again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that just stresses you out. You see it going, you're like, oh no. But then they say, well, yeah, we'll take you there. And I think that we could maybe keep some of the guards and others a little bit busy.
Yeah, keep us Mook free and we'll handle Sapphire.
Mook's our middle name.
You're all related?
Oh, yeah. Like and they hold up like a hand that's got a little pirate style tattoo. It's just like, officially, once you get this tattoo, you're a Mook.
Oh.
You're inducted.
And then I remember that on the side of their ship is the Mook. And they all have a headband that says Mook on it. And I'm like, oh, that's what that was.
Right, I reckon you're taking the joke a little too far.
Yeah, well, you did it, so...
Oh, yeah, blame me. And they begin to march you down to secret dock 63.
Before we leave, Banji does give Tito the little secret handshake they've got together. And he's like, thanks, Tito. You're a real lifesaver, legitimately.
That's what they call me. Keep out of mischief.
I'll try.
And he gives you like one swift little elbow bump at the very end. He's like, just as a bonus. And you once again leave the dock people behind to currently thrive. They're doing well. They've got food. They've got a little bit of extra treasure in the kitty. And they feel safe for a little bit.
I have guilty a martyr's condition. To clear that condition, I have to make a personal sacrifice to absolve your guilt. I've just personally sacrificed a very nice piece of treasure.
Yes, but that was more the mechanic to mark the fatigue rather than...
All right.
I see what you're saying. I'll tell you what. If you really want to clear guilty...
I feel like... I mean, you know, we saved 3 kids. We've left this pier a little bit better. I think there's good reason for Tomo to feel guilty. But although I have to say the job is not yet done, so I'm also okay with like holding on to that.
I was going to say, if you want to permanently reduce your treasure, like the pile of treasure you have, we'll say 20%. If you reduce that by 20% of what you had, then, and we'll use that as our currency, the percentage will go down over time.
I think Tomo sees all these little lost children and he sees Toto looking after them. Tito. And Tomo sees Cheeto looking after them. And yeah, Tomo will make that sacrifice and just put a little bit more in Tito's hand.
Okay. I want you just to write down on your sheet that you now have 75% of the treasure you had because you've given away a couple little bits here and there.
Yeah.
And that can be our measurement. You can clear guilty.
Yeah.
I like that the very first time you wanted to clear guilty was in the presence of these pirates and your piddly 1 gold coin did not do the job. And then full circle comes around. You're not actually like giving it to the pirates, but you're giving it to the people that the pirates really like. And I think that that's character growth.
Yeah, character growth.
Through twisting alleyways in the deep of night on Chinsum Big Island, you are lost by the time you've taken your 10th step. You know that if you didn't have these guides, you would never find this place. Chinsum Big manages to have hidden piers, little leeways, all types of manner of avenue that unless you know, you don't know. And before too long, you see a ship that you are certain could only belong to Sapphire. The old wooden bulkhead, the gaudy design, the blue sail. And it is getting ready to leave.
War is Lucas Lee as Tomo, Georgie Hazel as Nuro, Ted Darling as Banji, myself Jesse Thomas as Minh FANG, and Ash Cooper as our Grand Master of the White Lotus. Our theme song and outro, The Book of War Remains, is by Matt Harrison, as well as Combustion and Tomo's theme. Additional sound effects and music are from zapsplat.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram just by searching up the Book of War podcast and Avatar Legends Real Play. And we also want to share a massive thank you to our latest Patreons, Chandler Adams, Lauren Wolf, Hydra Pinus, Chad Rhodes, Kieran Vergebruge, James Davis, and Spicy Unicorn. A big thank you, guys. The Patreon's really starting to pop off, so come and get in while it's still fresh. You're going to have a great time. You get access to our one-shots. We've got a Halloween one. We've got a Christmas one. We've got our pilot arc. We also have a second podcast called Reading the Book of War, which if you're this far into the show, you've probably heard some samples of, where we go back and talk about the show. And yeah, it's a great time. The Discord's really full of love and full of fun, and we're really grateful that we have such a lovely little community brewing here. Also, if you're on our Patreon, you get a say in the kind of additional content that you want to see. So we recently did a vote, and everyone wanted extra content from the main show. So we're going to be working on some little extra stuff relevant to the main player characters and some main events of the show. That isn't going to take away from the main story, but it's going to be like a bunch of little extra stuff. So if that interests you, maybe you should get on while you can. The next episode will be out on March 23rd, so we will see you then. I grabbed the sword and the band, and I guess some of Banji's like sack and my bag.
You grab Banji's sack?
I grabbed Banji's bag. I grabbed Banji and Min's bags as well.
Can I say for the record that I did not say that? That didn't come from me.
Sorry, I'm a child.
I don't know. I figured Banji was more of a sack guy. I don't know what to tell you. Min's more of a bag kind of person. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ted. I don't know what kind of...
No, Banji loves a sack.
Yeah, you go.
We'll take that.
My blooper reel number 5.
Here I am trying to build the tension. I'm trying to build the scenery.
All right.
No, it's fine.
Do you want me to do another take of it?
No. Well,
I'm going to do another take of it for
Okay.
my sake that has nothing to do with sax.